Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Today is March 19th, 2020. Today we're going to be looking at Lesson 11, Graphing from the Factored Form. Let's jump right in. 11.1, Finding Coordinates. Here we're given the function and we're given a graph. We're asked to find what those points are. Well, those points are just the x and y intercepts. This graph doesn't really tell me anything. What a useless graph. Go away, graph. All right. All I need is the function. We're going to find the x and y intercepts. To find the x-intercept, we need to just make sure the y-coordinate is 0. So I want to find the x value that's going to make the y-coordinate 0. Take each factor and just set it equal to 0, and we can solve. We get x equals negative 1.6, and for the other factor, we get x equals 2. So those are our x-intercepts. For the y-intercept, just the same idea, but we make the x-coordinate 0. Plug 0 into our function to figure out what the output would be for y. In this case, we get negative 3.2. So there's our y-intercept. Great. So what was the question again? Oh yeah. Well, I don't remember what those points are. So I guess we need the graph back. Well, let's clean this up, make some space for it. And then graph, can you come back? Come on, it's okay. No, all the way. Don't be shy now. Come on. No, graph, I'm sorry I called you useless. You're actually really important in solving the problem. Thank you. All right. So now we can actually put these points down exactly where we need them to be. There you go. Moving on. 11.2, comparing two graphs. We're given two functions here, and we need to fill in these tables. We're going to do that by taking one number and plugging it into the function one at a time for each one. Oh boy, this could take some time. And there we go. Filled in all these tables. Turns out, not so bad. They're actually form very clear patterns. Take a moment and just look at how similar these two tables are. Which does make sense. The functions themselves are very similar as well. Now we need to find the x-intercepts and the vertex for each. Well, the x-intercept we know are when the y-coordinate is 0. So there and there. There's your x-intercepts. Wow, that font really makes it look like a face. It's like it's staring right at me. And for g of x, the x-intercepts are 0, 0, and 4, 0. Once again, very similar x-intercepts, just one small difference. But we were able to find that with the equation itself. We didn't actually need the table to find these x-intercepts. However, the vertex is something that we haven't done before. But I know that the vertex is going to be the highest or lowest point of a parabola. So when I look at the values in this table, it appears that for f of x, the vertex was right there when the output is negative 4. For g of x, the vertex also has a low point at negative 4, but this time when x is 2. So we're going to need to know how to find the vertex for any parabola when given the function in factored form. Now, this table is kind of giving us a hint here, but can you do this for any function? Do you see how this is going to work yet? If not, let's take a look at the graph. Here we're going to compare two graphs together. We're going to plot those tables onto the same coordinate plane. And by plot, I mean we're going to be using Desmos because that's way easier. Here are the two graphs. Now it says, make some observations. One graph is red and one graph is blue. Cool. Now we really need the vertexes for these points. So let's actually just look at one graph at a time. For this graph, we know that the vertex is right in the middle of the graph. It's that low point on the parabola. Now, what I'm also seeing, and this is what we saw in the table as well, is that that point is also right in the middle of those x-intercepts that they also had us lay out. And if we look at the blue graph, we see the same thing. the vertex can be found in between the middle of the x-intercepts. So if we want to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, we actually just need to find the x-intercepts and then figure out where the middle is. Now we can find the vertex. So let's put that into practice. 11.3, we're given 3 different functions, and we want to find the x-intercepts and the x-coordinates of the vertex for each. Well, the x-intercepts, we got that, no problem now. There it is. To find the x-coordinate of the vertex, we need to find the middle of those x-intercepts. So to find the middle, the easiest way is actually just to take the average of those 2 numbers. So for the f of x, I could take the 5, the negative 3, add them together, we get 2. Take 2, divide by 2, and we get 1. So the x-coordinate of the vertex has to be at when x equals 1. We then apply that process to the rest of them, and there you go. That's the x-coordinate of the vertex. And once again, if I wanted to find the y-coordinate, I could simply plug them into the equation and figure out what the output would be. So now we're going to take a look using answer key technology to graph the functions f, g, and h. Check our work. Yeah, the vertexes are exactly where we said they would be. Math. So now I would like for you guys to do all the rest of the problems on your own. All right, and I want to make sure that you submit the work on Google Classroom as well as the practice problems. That way I'm making sure that you're watching the video. So till next time, have a wonderful day. And remember that sometimes distance makes the heart grow fonder. Goodbye, everybody.